Imagine the scene. The sun is just rising over the beautiful coast of the Philippines. The air is thick with anticipation. Suddenly the quiet morning is broken by the roar of engines and the churning of water. This isn't a movie. This is a real-life display of military power and close partnership. Recently, the Philippines and Australia held their biggest joint military exercise ever. It was a powerful demonstration. These two nations stand shoulder to shoulder. The drills were named Exercise Alon. Alon means wave in Filipino, a fitting name for the massive amphibious operations at the center of the event. This was not just a simple training day. It was a complex, carefully planned operation. Thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, they practiced responses to a major security threat. The main event was a thrilling, realistic beach assault. Landing craft speeding toward the shore, spray flying as they cut through waves. Filipino Marines aboard. Australian Marines aboard. Ready for action, simulating retaking a seized beach. Marines hit the sand and move fast, establishing a secure beachhead, a powerful display of amphibious warfare. Critical for island nations like the Philippines, every movement coordinated, showing high training and true interoperability. Next phase, capture a nearby airstrip. Helicopters played a crucial role. Australian troops inserted by air, Filipino troops inserted by air. Troops repelled from hovering helicopters, securing the airstrip perimeter with speed and precision. The military hardware on display was nothing short of impressive. Australia brought some of its most capable assets to the exercise. The star of the show was the HMAS Canberra, a landing helicopter dock ship. This is essentially a floating military base, capable of launching helicopters and deploying thousands of troops in their vehicles. Australian F-35. A Lightning II fighter jets flew in the exercise. These planes are stealthy, fifth-generation aircraft. On the ground, M1A1 Abrams tanks, M113, as 4 armored personnel carriers, both demonstrating power and mobility during live-fire drills. The Philippines showcased growing military capabilities. The armed forces of the Philippines are deep into modernization. The Philippine Air Force flew FA-50PH light combat aircraft. The Philippine Navy deployed frigates patrol vessels working with larger Australian ships. Beyond the machines, the most important element was the people. These major drills did not just involve the Philippines, they also involved Australia. Other key international partners were also present, watching closely. A significant contingent from the United States Marine Corps participated directly, particularly the amphibious assault. This is not surprising, given the long-standing defense treaty between the Philippines and the United States. The involvement of U.S. forces adds another layer of complexity and realism to the training, allowing the three countries to practice operating together in a combined force. Their presence underscores the deep and enduring security relationship that Washington maintains with both Manila and Canberra. Beyond the active participants, other nations sent observers to watch the exercises unfold. High-ranking military officials from countries like Canada, Indonesia. Their role as observers is very important. It allows them to learn from the techniques and procedures being practiced. It also signals their interest and support for these kinds of cooperative security activities. For nations like Indonesia, seeing how Australia and the Philippines manage a large-scale amphibious operation provides valuable insights. This multilateral aspect of the exercise is just as important as the bilateral training itself. While the combat simulations are what grab the headlines, these exercises have a much deeper purpose. At their core, they are about building interoperability. This is a military term that simply means the ability for forces from different countries to work together effectively. It's about making sure their communication systems can talk to each other, their procedures are aligned, and soldiers understand each other's commands and tactics. This exercise was a massive test of that interoperability. Another crucial purpose is preparing for non-combat emergencies. The Indo-Pacific is prone to typhoons, earthquakes, tsunamis. The same assets used in combat, large ships, helicopters, cargo planes, trained personnel, are also vital for humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. They hone rapid response, delivering aid and saving lives. By practicing logistics and deployment, Philippines and Australian forces hone rapid response, delivering aid and saving lives. These exercises are also diplomacy in action. Troops living and training together build personal bonds and shared trust. It is impossible to discuss these military exercises without considering the broader context of the region. Tensions have been rising in the South China Sea for years. China has made sweeping claims over most of this vital waterway, building artificial islands and militarizing them. These actions have often led to tense encounters with other claimant states. These drills, held in locations like Palawan, which is near the disputed waters, are a clear statement that the Philippines is serious about defending its sovereignty and maritime rights. In response to the drills, China has often issued statements criticizing them. Beijing portrays such exercises as provocations that raise tensions and undermine regional stability. However, the Philippines and its partners have consistently stated that the drills are not directed at any single country. They emphasize that the exercises are a normal part of being a responsible member of the international community. Leaders from both the Philippines and Australia have been vocal about their unity. Philippine President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has called the partnership with Australia vital. By training together, they are not only strengthening their own defenses, but are also contributing to a more stable and secure future for the entire region. The waves of Exercise Elan carry a message of strength, friendship, and unwavering resolve across the waters.